Thank you for watching the Anunoki. In today's episode, the 10 Kings, we will explain the bloodline of the kings of the heavens. The 10 Kings of Heaven. This story is so important because it is everything you face. Let me get to it. In the beginning, the commanders from both sides, the north and the south, was nuking all over the heavens. They was dropping nuclear bombs all over the heavens. The commanders of both sides, north and south. An, king of the north, married Antu, made her queen of the south. And through that union, the heavens became peace under King An and the marriage of An, king of the north, to Queen Antu of the south. That stopped the wars. So under King An, the council of all the heavens came together and they said, An, your firstborn son will receive the kingdom. An's firstborn son, Anki, received the kingdom due to the law of the council made in heaven. So when the council discovered Anki was sterile, the council made a new law that said the kingdom will be passed to the middle son, which was An-Abi. Many pronounce it Neb, but it's An-Abi. And the kingdom from An-Abi was beautiful. It was all peace in the heavens. There was no problem other than the council realizing their power to see the king. And from this moment is when the plot starts of the kingdom of heaven. King An-Abi, firstborn son name is An-Shargal. An-Shargal mastered the entire heavens. He mastered the map charted courses of all solar systems throughout the entire 78 quintillion miles of the universe. King An-Shargal, and he left maps. As the fourth king of heaven, An-Shargal, the council was being crafty. And the council made a law upon the king of An-Shargal, and this is where many say the problem comes in heaven, that the council made a law that the kingdom will not be passed down to the firstborn son, but it will be passed down to the married born son, which means An-Shargal had a son from a concubine. And the concubine, the council didn't recognize that son no longer in the eyes of the law, but said the married son will be considered the firstborn son. Now, An-Shargal had a son through a concubine, which becomes the bloodline of Alim. Alim is a denied son of the kingdom and powers of heaven due to the law of the council, which many say is by intent and design. Here's the problem. Anshargal marries Kishargal, which is a very beautiful union. But their son, Anshar, is passed down the kingdom, which overlooks Alim's bloodline. So Anshar has a son and passes the kingdom to Inshar. As the time of Inshar, the planet Neb Heru has a hole in the ozone, which Inshar is using volcano smoke to block the rays of the sun. And they're dropping nuclear bombs inside of volcanoes to erupt great smoke clouds, black plumes to shield the planet from the rays of the sun that's coming in through the ozone of the planet Neb Heru. King Inshar has a son named Duoru, who is sterile due to the nuclear bombing again of the volcanoes. In the beginning, King An's first son, Anki, was sterile due to the nuclear bombings of the wars of the North and the South, and the commanders releasing nukes all over the heavens. So King Inshar has a son named Duoru. Duoru is sterile. So Duoru adopts a son, which is not caught by the council, which is many believe is a set plan, that Duoru, the son he adopted, from the gates of the palace, the orphans of the gate of the palace, Duoru takes a son and call him Lamar. Lamar is raised in the kingdom as king, as a crown prince, and is given the kingdom. As Lamar is given the kingdom, Lamar is not of the direct bloodline of King An, down to Anki, down to An Abi, down to Anshargal, down to Alim, or down to Anshar and Inshar. Duoru adopts Lamar, and Lamar grows and becomes king. The bloodline of Alim is watching this event play out very closely, and they attack King Lamar, Alalu, prince of Alim, his bloodline traced to Anshargal, pushes King Lamar off the tower along with the rebel force, and reestablishes the bloodline in heaven of King An all the way to, from Anshargal to Alim's bloodline to Alalu. And Alalu is the prince who's leading the rebels, who pushes King Lamar off the tower and proclaims himself king and reestablishes the pure bloodline of heaven. Alalu runs down on the council and decimates the council for not catching this bloodline transfer into heaven. But as Lamar was king, he had his firstborn, his first commander, not firstborn son, but his first commander is Anu, Prince Anu. But as Lamar was king, he had his firstborn, his first commander, not firstborn son, but his first commander is Anu, Prince Anu. So Anu is of the bloodline of Lamar as first in command. of King Lamar's kingdom. And as Alalu pushes Lamar off the tower, Alalu decimates the council. Alalu sees the hole in the ozone. Alalu re-erupts the volcanoes, but they wasn't belching as much smoke as in the time of Inshar. Alalu sends flights of crews and astronauts to the asteroid belt that they call the Kuiper Belt. Alalu sends many astronauts to the asteroids to mine them for gold, to bring back, to turn the gold to powder, to shield the ionosphere, which will block the rays of the sun. And many trips of the astronauts were not fulfilled due that the astronauts crashed into the asteroid fields. For 28,000 years, Alalu ruled Neb Heru. And for most of the time, the first commander, Anu, under King Lamar, waged war behind the scenes and infiltrated the council, the new council that Alalu had established for truth and righteousness. Anu infiltrated the council, and Anu ultimately challenged Alalu for the throne and crown of Neb Heru. Anu defeats Alalu in a wrestling match. They fought in the combat of the streets, two high commanders. And Alalu, upon combat defeat in honor of the combat, he leaves the planet Neb Heru in a nuclear-armed ship, and he flies out and he passes the Neb Heru orbit and comes through the he leaves Neb Heru and comes through Pluto and passes the asteroid field. He uses nuclear bombs to pass the asteroid field, and he passes Pluto, understanding the first commander of King Lamar was Anu. Makes a treaty with Anu. He makes a treaty that Anu gives his firstborn son, Enki, to marry his firstborn daughter, Damkina. And upon this marriage, Alalu will forge an oath which will become a law in heaven, which the child of I am Kina is Damkina, but the D is interchangeable, which it really means I am Kina, marries Enki, and their firstborn son will inherit the kingdom of heaven. This is a law Alalu forged with the agreement of Anu, the first commander of Lamar, who Alalu took the heavens from. Thank you for watching the Anunoki. In today's episode, The 10 Kings, we will explain the bloodline of the kings of the heavens.